Hello, and thank you so much for joining us. Some of the PC users are reporting some troubleshooting issues, and so let me address those as best I can. One of the first things that we're hearing a lot about is that when people are trying to actually drag some of the static images or backgrounds onto the stage here, they may not be showing up here or not here at all. Let me point out that one thing is that when I don't have an animation, it's going to look blank until I can start moving the timeline. So let's go ahead and add something there. And oops, I got to actually select that, and then there we go. So what happens is it kind of needs to like catch up a little bit, so sometimes you may need to rewind for it to show, but many are reporting that it still has a problem. It turns out that it's a permissions issue with Windows. So what you may need to do is go and uninstall Kinetic Text Animator and then reinstall it in an administrator mode. That's something I don't know how to do. To be honest, I'm a Mac user, so hopefully you know. If you don't, Google it. And then some are reporting that even after doing that, they need to open it in administrator mode also. So some are reporting that they don't have to, and some are reporting that they do. But that's kind of so sorry for those hoops that you need to jump through if you're running into that. Now, evidently that is also an issue with our built-in fonts. And really, once again, it's a permissions thing. It's like we're installing these fonts, and Windows is, in some settings, is basically going, no, you don't have permission to do that, or whatever. So in administrator mode, you evidently it overrides that, and then you will be able to see those built-in fonts. So that's something that should potentially solve that also. Finally, we're having people report that exporting has a problem, and let me just kind of address that. Now, when we export, it does the processing, the timeline, and then after that, it's going to let you name the file. And what a lot of people are doing is just going ahead and accepting the default without really looking here. We need to add a pop-up or something, but what it really needs is this extension. And even though we automatically put it in, on some Windows setups, you've overridden that, or there's a setting that's overridden it either by some other software, or you've manually done that. So what you need to do is if you see it like this, or even like this, you need to type in, your file name, .mp4 or whatever it is. So you need that last part there. And so a lot of people are reporting once they add that in, it's good to go. We'll try to get some, right now, if you don't add that in, it generates an error message that's a little weird. So we'll try to have a little bit more informative error message, so at least it tells you, hey, you need to add that extension, because it's really easy to accidentally not have the extension. So that pretty much is what is solving that. So this solves most of the issues that are kind of most commonly reported right now, or I mean, this addresses it. But if you're still running into other issues, please go to our Kinetic Text Animator .com KTA/contact. I had some other program overrode my ability to make it just contact, so that's why we have it like that. So this is bare bones now. We'll clean this up after a while. Or, of course, join us on our Facebook group here, Animation Creators Club. And a lot of users are chiming in. Thank you so much, and helping out other people, and that's just we really appreciate that. And so you can get some answers potentially quicker, particularly if you're sending messages over our nighttime while I'm sleeping. I try to answer customer support personally. I believe in that. So anyways, so that's something that should be able to get you going on some of the main issues. We are going to address those and have an update as soon as possible, hopefully early next week. Thanks a lot for joining the fun with Kinetic Text Animator.